How do you go on when you lose someone you love? Everyone says that the pain will lessen, that it will gradually fade away, leaving only shallow scars that ache with phantom memories. But for me, letting myself forget feels like a betrayal. This agonizing pain is all the love I have for them, all I have left of them. So if it fades, it means I love them less, right? No, it doesn't. You need to adapt to not having the person around, right? I'd be letting them fade, and that would be horrible of me. Would it not? Grief sucks. Your fingers skim the keyboard, deftly typing line after line. You've been working on this for months, barely breaking to eat or sleep. Hell, you've barely spoken to your friends. Maki often video calls to check in, but to be honest, it gets harder and harder to hold conversations. Ooh, that's not good. You're tired of seeing her worried and disappointed eyes. You lean back in your chair, rubbing your eyes tiredly before stretching your arms and to up oh, before stretching your arm up to elongate your spine. A series of pop sounds and you wince. You never did like the sound of crunching bone. Usually, you tell Sato off for cracking his knuckles. Slumping forward again, your fingers resume ghosting over the keyboard. The soft clicking, clacking, and the hum of your computer are sounds you've long grown accustomed to find comforting in the dead of the night. But it's late, even for you. You're tired, and you keep making mistakes in your code, leading you to tediously correct yourself. It's slowing down your progress. But you need this done. You don't think you can last another day without him. It's been so quiet, so cold. You miss him. Your husband? That makes sense. What are you doing? So much. An hour passed, and you feel the weight of your shoulders gradually lift as you reach the end. Finally, after months of sleepless nights, awful coping habits fueled by caffeine, and whatever medication the Ascension Tech's psychiatrist prescribed, you'll see him again. Oh, is this where the android comes into play? Just one more line of code. As you type the last symbols into the interface, you click the buttons to finalize and export. Your screen flashes. Code complete. Initialize Project Haven. Oh god. The screen flickers with glowing blue buttons. Your hand shakes as you glide the cursor over to the yes button. This is it. Just one click and it'll be like you never left. Blinking, your hand stills. An unpleasant feeling lurches from your gut, piercing into your heart. You shake your head furiously. Denial. Anger. What am I saying? He's just away, that's all. This is temporary. He'll understand. He's dead. He's not okay, yes, he's away, but he's not coming back. It's like this is You click the mouse and watch as a loading bar appears. Uploading data to Project Sato. No. The lights flicker as you follow the cables, a tangled spaghetti like mess connecting your computer to a humanoid lying on a metal surgical table. Did you make him? Sato. Your fingers trace the synthetic skin on his face, running down to gently rest where his heart is. The artificial construct pulses softly. A metallic imitation of life. Oh no. But it remains a temporary placeholder for you to spill your endless love into. And you decide that's good enough. For now. 36%. Squinting, you take into the details of the synthetic's face. Long lashes, long silky hair, high cheekbones, and even a scar over his left eye. Oh my god. Everything is as it was. Nothing is different. Because nothing is different. Well, Maki outdid herself with this synthetic. Maki is helping? He looks just like him. 37%. Your heart skips a beat, and for a split second, the motionless android is merely sleeping. Furiously, you shake the lapse of thought loose. This isn't him. The real Satan will be back soon. He's dead! He's dead. You chuckle softly, eyes flickering into the Polaroid taped to the wall with a cat sticker. I can't wait to see him. He'll probably be weirded out by his android double, but he'll laugh about it. Oh, we're so not good. We are so unwell. He always finds the positive in any situation. Anxiety washes over you in unforgiving waves. Would Sato really laugh at this, though? Or if he felt like you were betraying his trust? Feel like if he was alive, he wouldn't want this for you. You might have taken it too far this time. It doesn't matter. He's dead. No, he'll understand. We've never been apart this long. He'll understand. You don't know who you're trying to convince. Yourself. It's been so long, and you miss him so much. Looking at the clock, you frown. You weren't a fan of working till almost 5 a.m. every night. It's late. Satan would have scolded me for this. A soft smile spreads across your lips as you remember those late nights, sneaking into bed quietly after working until the wee hours of the morning. And Satan would catch you every time without fail. Ooh, this is cool. He would sit up in bed, frowning cutely. His long hair would be rumpled and falling out of his bun.
Starlight.
Well, 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 look who's finally decided to show up, he would murmur, sleepily, crossing his arms and mustering a tired pretend frown. This is so bad. Also, how do I hide? Oh, wow. Okay, but how do I hide these then? The smell of clean laundry and the scent of his jasmine shampoo would calm you down as he kissed your forehead. He would always sigh, his breath hot against your temple, whispering how you worked too hard and deserved a break, but also how he loved your passion for your work. And in return, you would always say that you wouldn't be so passionate if it weren't for him. 18 years together. Oh, middle school sweethearts. Yet it would never fail to make him blush. Sleep, he'd always say, as he would bury his face into your neck to hide his flushed cheeks. Tomorrow's another ad. You slam your hand on the table. I need to focus. You look back at the screen next to the android. The number has barely changed. Sighing, you turn your attention to your email. The inbox is nothing but copious emails from your superiors back at Ascension Tech. You scan the subject titles one by one. Progress update request, Haven AI chip. One-on-one meeting request, Hajime Michimiya. Funding discussion, Haven AI project. Ooh. Haven. Katonic. Unfortunately, I cannot obey the concerns of all the investors anymore. Some have withdrawn their money as you haven't delivered on several milestones nor updated anyone for a long while. Attached is your new funding budget sheet detailing the changes and suggestions on what to cut back on. Please reach out at your earliest convenience to discuss this. Regards, Hajime. Tonic, I am still waiting to receive an update report on the Haven project. If typing up a whole new report is too much right now, then let's chat over video call and catch up instead. I've seen a meeting request to a free slot in your calendar. Please be present. Regards, Hajime. Ooh. Hello, Katonic. I spoke to the shareholders on the Haven project this morning, and they request an update on your research. While they are sympathetic to your loss, it has been a couple of months. They have been patient so far with your request to work in your home lab, but have been concerned with the radio silence from you. Your initial proposal was backed generously to allow you to continue your research into the lifelike AI humanoid creation, your area of expertise. Please do not forget what is at stake here and how hard we fought for this chance. Regards, Hajime. Close computer. Okay, so this is funded by work. This is not wise. Messaging your temple, you had a. Oh, massaging your temple. I don't know what it is about this font, but you heave a heavy sigh. You know it's not right to ignore Hajime and the investors regarding Project Haven, especially when their money is what makes the very android lying motionless on your table possible. I'll reply soon. After Sato initializes, I can show them. They can see that Haven is still worth investing in. Anyway, it's late. I should get some sleep. One last time, you're pulled towards the motionless android on the table. Your gaze lingers along the wires connecting to his head. What should you do? Oh, Kiss him or don't kiss him? I mean, are we going full in on this? This is not wise. Yeah, let's go full in. You gently press your lips to the synthetic forehead. The cool touch of the artificial skin contrasts with your warmth. Soon.
I'm sorry. He's dead.
Katonic, I'm sorry. They couldn't find him. The wreckage was near unsalvageable. Wow, he was totaled, huh? Keep looking. Katonic. Maki jumps as you slam your hand against the wall. He's not dead. Oh, denial. You brace yourself against the wall, clutching your left hand to your chest, fingers gripping your wedding band tight. He's not dead. He wouldn't leave me. It's not the same. He'll be back. Uh. You thrust to yours in Sato's bedroom, shutting the door quietly. The moonlight spills into the room along with the neon brights of the cityscape. That's one of the big reasons you and Sato chose to move here. He always loved the lights. Seeing them is just proof of what we've all overcome. Nothing ever gets you down, does it? The bathroom door slides open with a soft hiss, and you start getting ready for bed. You splash some water on your face, the cold droplets running down your neck. You then stare into the mirror, acutely aware of the dark circles framing your eyes. The rest of your skin is even looking a little dull, no doubt a result of all the stress and sleepless nights. Reaching for a drawer, you slide it open and grab a bottle of pills. Dipping two out into your hand, you swallow them both, washing it down with water from the tap in front of you. Ascension Tech in-house psychiatrist claims these would help you sleep. But to be honest, you haven't felt a single benefit from them at all. You drag yourself to bed, lifting up the covers and sliding in, leaving plenty of room on Sato's side of the bed. You grab your phone, deciding to flick through a couple of videos on social media. Maybe that's why you can't fall asleep. Cat video, another cat video, a review of a nearby restaurant. You sigh and navigate to your messages, tapping once to open the inbox. You have a few voicemails. Choose a voicemail. Oh, who's Masato?
Oh yeah, how are you? I haven't heard from you lately. Hope you're sleeping and eating or whatever. Just call me. Don't be stupid.
Uh, would making an android of my dead husband be considered stupid? Your heart clenches. Masato, Sato's younger brother. Oh no! We don't tell him. He must be having an awful time too with Sato missing. He's dead! Choose a voice message.
Hey, just checking in, as always. Give me a call sometime. I'll take you to that ramen place you like. My treat.
Oh, they're trying so hard to reach out to her. Maki, caring as always. I should call her soon. I should call her now.
I need you to call me when you get this, or at the very least, check your emails. I hope you're well. I mean that.
Is this my boss? God, I'll do all my tasks on time. I'm sorry. You wince, making a mental note to check in with Hajime as soon as you can. Yeah, except we've been ignoring all the messages. Scroll down. You drag your thumb, scrolling down the screen. Your fingers are shaky as you tap the button. Sato's last words to you fill the room. Oh.
Hey, Starlight. I'm staying late at the lab today, so, don't wait up, alright? I love you. See you in the morning.
Bitch, see you whenever you died. Straightening an arm out, you rest your hand on his pillow. It's cold. Your heart clenches painfully. This sucks. You shake Sato awake, fingers trembling while you attempt to poorly hide your sniffles.
Starlight.
Your beloved husband stirs, rolling over, murmuring a muffled what's happening. As his eyes adjust to the darkness, he realizes that you're not okay at all. He bolts upright, flickering on the lamp and reaching for his glasses on the bedside table.
Hey.
Starlight, what's wrong? Are you hurt? I had that nightmare again. What nightmare? Sato's eyes soften as he lays back down, opening his arms for you to curl up against his chest. I'm sorry for waking you. Have you been dreaming about him dying?
Starlight.
Starlight, I'd only be annoyed if you didn't wake me. But you have work tomorrow. You'll be tired. I should have just. Oh. Does she feel. Your protest ends in a muffled Effie's mm, mm, as you realize Sato has pressed his lips against yours. He pulls away, grinning triumphantly, while you glare at him, trying not to laugh. What is one night of good sleep if tomorrow's reality is finding out my lovely spouse has suffered alone? Oh no! Oh no! That's so unfortunate. Oh no. You humph softly and snuggle in closer, your head resting on his chest as his fingers gently card through your hair. Was it the same nightmare? Yeah, it's always the same.
Hey.
The one where you lose me. Stop! Don't even say it. Saying it won't make it real, Starlight. I don't have superpowers, and if I did, I'd manifest something much better than me dying. Oh my god! You slap his chest playfully, laughing softly as your husband goes into detail about how he would bring his favorite fantasy world to life just for a day. He reaches a hand up to intertwine his fingers with yours.
Starlight.
You
You
won't
won't
lose
lose
me.
me.
You won't lose me, you liar! You promise? No, that's a shit promise to try to make. Oh no. Of course, I'm invincible. Plus, who would get the cockroaches for you and toss them over the balcony? Who tosses the cockroaches over the balcony? I can't have you dealing with that on your own. The gods already know that you'd move out first rather than arm yourself with some bug spray. Shut up. He laughs and kisses your forehead. You smile up at him, basking in his adoring gaze. I do feel a lot better though. Thank you, Sato. He sighs dramatically. I gave you a cute nickname like Starlight, and I got plain old Sato. You know I'm bad at nicknames. Humor me anyway. He chuckles and moves to brush a strand of hair out of your face. You think hard, trying to come up with something for your dear husband. You come up with asteroid, atmosphere, Uranus. I like asteroid.
Huh?
What? You try to stifle a giggle as Sato stares at you, deadpan. You reach down and smack the side of his butt. Why is it butt themed? Because you have a nice ass? This is all I am to you, huh? Just a piece of meat. Oh, that's funny. You kind of, I mean, there's a slab of android meat that you kind of look like at the moment, so. He pretends to glare, but you can see in the corner of his mouth twitch. Yeah, now bring your asteroid into orbit over here. You gesture to him to crawl on top of you as he stares at you incredulously.
Hey.
Incredulously. Please don't tell me this is how you're going to initiate sex from now on. This is the captain. This is the captain to Star Command. I have sights on a large shuttle about to enter the atmosphere. I love Yenny, but why would you make me read this out? Yenny, please. Iskula Sato climbs on top of you and puts his hand over your mouth. Alright, enough of that. You playfully try to bat him away, but he pins your wrist down to the bed, hovering over you. You both fall silent, looking into one another's eyes. The romantic staring contest continues until you break first, your face flushing as you turn your head to the side. In response, he lowers his one hand, using the remaining to grasp both your wrists tight, still pressing them against the bed. How in depth does this go? He grips your chin with the other hand and makes you look at him. You shut your eyes.
Starlight.
Hey, Starlight, look at me. You keep your eyes shut, embarrassed. Please? Slowly you peek. Your face burns incredibly hot. He stares at you in reverence.
Fuck. I love you.
Oh no, he's dead. And then he crashes his lips to yours. Your fingers claw into the pillow as tears threaten to spill. Where did you go? You said you wouldn't leave me. The swelling loneliness in your heart is painful, filling your chest up so fast that it feels like you're drowning. And then it spills. You sob into the blankets, chest heaving as the sinking feeling grows. As you cry, the neon lights at the cityscape continue to shine. Cars continue to drive the streets below. Friends continue stumbling home after a late night out. Your eyes close, and life as you know it goes on, without him by your side. Except for the Android version that you're starting up.
You don't have to cry anymore. I'm back.
Is this a horror game? I don't know. You sit up, hand flying into your mouth, your chest hurts as your breathing is strained. Your pulse is pounding your ears as you rub your face furiously, wiping the remains of tear streaks off your face. Again, that dream. They need to find him soon. I can't keep dreaming of this. I barely get any sleep these days. Slumping back in the bed, you cover your eyes with the back of your hand. You attempt to even out your heavy breaths, but you know it's a poor attempt. The sunlight streaming through the window is warm and bright. You use the remote to shut the blinds. Staring despondently at the ceiling, you move to try and reach for your phone. Huh? Dread grips your spine as you distinctly hear sounds coming from the kitchen. Is someone visiting? Maki, maybe. Maki's never done this, though. She would have called. Anxiety settles in your stomach like cold sludge. There's no way you can stay here, so you quietly shift the covers off and slowly place your feet on the floor. You grasp your phone, considering calling someone for help just in case. Someone cooking in your kitchen? Is the android cooking in your kitchen? Can the android cook? But you don't know who you can call anymore. Despite your best effort, your footsteps feel heavy. You press the panel on the side of your bedroom door slides open with a hiss, making you wince. You don't want to alert the potential intruder, who's cooking. As you pad into the hallway, getting closer to the kitchen, you start to hear a voice humming a soft tune. Who is that? The surging panic in your chest goes haywire as you rack your brain for who it may be. No one would visit me, so who? Then you remember the android Seto lying in your lab. Vulnerable. Revealed. What if someone's here to take him? I mean, I bet it costs a lot of money, but you burst into your kitchen, footsteps purposeful and heavy. But then you freeze, because standing in the kitchen, with the same smile on his face as always, hair tied up in a high ponytail, using his favorite spatula and humming his favorite tune like it was an ordinary day, is your husband. And it's the android.
Hello, Moonlight.
It's the android. What did he call me? Moonlight? The nickname is Starlight, isn't it? Ah, hello. You stare in disbelief, unmoving, frozen. You've dreamt of this moment, but now that it's happening, you find yourself paralyzed. Unable to say a word as tears well in your eyes. Sato frowns and sets down the spatula. He returns to you, his expression daring with concern as he looks over your face. The nickname's not right. Moonlight, are you alright? No. His hands finds his way to your forehead, checking to see if you're unwell. Something he always did. But his hands feel off. Smoother. Different. You're not. Sato? Sato cocks his head to the side, a familiar gesture of confusion. He withdraws back, but only enough to take both of your hands with his instead.
Oh.
Of course I'm your Sato.
Is that not what you named me?
So he's aware. Okay. The android. The surge of disappointment nearly takes you off your feet. You sway a little. The android's hand on yours is the only force keeping you upright. Sato continues to look at you, the frown deepening between his brows. Moonlight, did you work too late again? You would know. You grit your teeth and shake your head. Of course, it's the android. You just thought it's your husband because... Wait, how did you awaken? I didn't initialize you. You didn't need to, Moonlight. I just opened my eyes and found my way to you. I needed to check on you last night. I heard you crying. He murmurs worriedly, his hand stroking your cheek. It's not the same. You're not used to how his touch feels. But that's not possible. You're confused, brows furrowing. Something isn't right. Androids should not be able to initialize their final awakening by themselves, even with advanced AI chips. The creator always has to perform the final authorization, which also allows for the placements of shackling parameters. Are there no shackling parameters? Maybe the Haven AI is different. After all, I developed it so we could create something lifelike. So there are no parameters. Your focus returns to Sato as Sato tilts your head.
Oh, Moonlight.
Does it matter? I'm back now. Mm, those eyes, the same bright eyes that crinkle as he smiles. I'm right here. A gentle smile spreads across his lips, his eyes looking at you with adoration and possessiveness. Uh, oh. No kiss for your husband? Ah, maybe. And I know this is about grief and stuff, but maybe you should have made a different guy and not made the android look like your dead husband. He strokes your hair gently and you flinch, reflexively taking a step back. Sato's eyes widen in surprise. His hands retract and fall back to his side. His face slides into careful neutrality. You fold your arms across your chest, unable to withstand the familiarity of his gaze. Why do I feel so guilty? Stupid. Let's make one thing clear. Ooh, you're not the real Sato, you're your own person. You're your own person. You're too kind, but I'm made to keep you happy. I would be happy if you are your own person. I don't need to be my own person. I'm yours. Oh no. I feel like you should have programmed the parameters in before the boot up or whatever, even. The words sound good, but sit unpleasantly in your ears. Because it's a warning sign. It makes your stomach churn. You shake your head, guilt sinking into the pit of your stomach. What am I doing? He's newly awakened. We haven't even run diagnostics yet. I'm sorry, Sato. I can still call him Sato, right? You didn't do anything wrong. Sato smiles placatingly. It's quite alright. I'm sorry I startled you. I assumed you don't get androids who awaken by themselves very often? No. You shake your head. Try never. Awakening is a delicate procedure. It is meant to be the final step before realization for an AI. It consists of several intricate steps to ensure that the artificial brain, heart, nervous system, and logical processes work. It also allows the creator to place the proper shackling mechanisms on the system. After all, an unshackled AI can be disastrous. A soft chuckle snaps you out of your daydream, and you watch Sato lean over, bending down to your eye level. Well, I must be special then. I've never had anyone do something so stupid to win my affections. Around and around you go, trying to catch every single nanobot currently buzzing and darting about like a cacophony of sentient jelly beans. But how can you stay mad when his very laugh could part the clouds of doubt from your mind, just like that? Well, I must be special then, hey? I suppose you are. Oh, this is bad. You swallowed thickly before peering past Sato and towards the stove. He had turned the heat to low before coming to talk to you, so whatever is in the pot is slowly simmering. How, and I'm guessing they're not going to elaborate on it, but how did they make the AI like the husband personality wise? Like videos, like text scripts? Like, how does that work? Like, would, because that seems like a moment that happened that's not recorded, right? So then how? Like her memories of him are also like implemented? That's fucked. And smelling really good. You couldn't remember the last time you had a home cooked meal. Can you not cook? These days, it's all about frozen rations straight from the Ascension Tech employee supplies. Supplement pills, Tetra packed vegetables, and meat. Not the best, but it did the job. Seeing your curiosity, Sato turns back to the stove, stirring the pot. I made you some rice porridge with egg, wonton crisps, and spring onions. That sounds good. It's your favorite. You nod slowly. The comforting smell wafts through the kitchen, forcibly dragging memories that you miss dearly to the front of your mind. You force them down. He carefully ladles a bowl for you, topping the delicious looking porridge with a smattering of spring onion oil and a handful of crunchy deep fried wonton pieces. Placing the bowl on the table, he pulls the chair out, gesturing for you to sit. Come, Moonlight. It's no use starting the day on an empty stomach. You obey, and he pushes the chair in, bending down to softly kiss you on the cheek. Your face flushes. He chuckles, running his fingers through your hair before his hand settles on the back of your neck. Why are you blushing? I'm your husband. His fingers softly stroke at your nape. Is this like one of those things that if I answer incorrectly, he's gonna snap my neck? Yes and no. You argue within yourself. You did program him with those memories, but. Oh. Going. I'm gonna find out. Technically, yes, but also no. Sato's smile remains unchanged. That O tells me I chose poorly, but his eyes take on a frosty demeanor. I'm afraid I don't understand. He sits down across from you, crossing one long leg over the other, while his eyes continue to bore into you, staring into you like he knew the reason, as if he could see through you and into your soul. But he just wanted to hear you admit it, wanted you to explain your guilt. It's just that there's Sato, and then there's you?
Go on.
You swallow. There's no nice way you can say this. You're.
Placeholder.
Oof. You drop your spoon. That's not what I meant.
But that's exactly what you meant.
Yes. He cocks his head, his eyes blank as the lens inside the artificial iris shift.
Don't be scared. Spouses should be honest with each other now.
You just said that you're a placeholder. Stop calling me your spouse. He nods stiffly. You're right. They should be. His eyes soften. Good. I'm glad you agree. I'm sorry. There's no need. You gave me your honesty. That's all I could ask for. The smile is cold. It doesn't reach his eyes. I'm on a bad path. He reaches over, picks up your dropped spoon, and hands it to you. Now eat up, Moonlight. You'll need all your strength, won't you? You dip your spoon into the steaming congee, bringing up a spoonful to your mouth. You blow on it softly before eating the rice porridge. It tastes exactly how I used to make it. You look down and notice that you even used your favorite spoon and bowl. It just tastes better in that bowl with that spoon. You laugh. Your laugh sends Sato shaking his head while he ladles steaming congee into your bowl. A soft chuckle emanates from his widening smile.
Starlight.
I think that is the perfect example of a placebo effect. You puff your cheeks up. Nuh-uh. You stick your tongue out at him and he laughs, settling the bowl in front of you with a spoon. Sato takes a seat across from you with his own bowl.
Hey.
And does my darling spouse have a way to prove her hypothesis? No. His eyes are amused and full of affection as he teases you. You hold the spoon on your congee to his lips, urging him to eat it. Say, ah, my darling husband.
Huh?
His cheeks flush and he parts his lips, letting you feed him the congee. Now, swallow. Sato swallows the congee, humming. Good boy. His eyes widen and he nearly chokes.
You can't. This early in the morning.
You giggle. But it tastes better, right? You put a spoonful in your mouth, savoring the flavor and comfort of the warm rice porridge. Sato regains his composure, walking over to your side of the table and bending down to your eye level with a playful smirk on his face. It did, but his hands find its way to the back of your head, pulling you closer. We should test more than one variable for the sake of a fair experiment, right? You squeak as he presses his mouth to yours, tongue running along your lips. You gasp and part your lips, allowing his tongue to push inside, pressing against yours as your eyes slide shut. Your fingers grip the front of his shirt as he stands, pulling you with him and holding you close.
Not enough.
He growls and pulls you even closer, your arms winding around his shoulder as you continue to kiss fervently. After a couple of minutes, he pulls apart from you, a trail of saliva connecting your lips. He hums, taking into account your flushed cheeks and wide eyes. You're right. A smirk dances on his lips. I guess it does taste better eating it from something special. You so fucking suck. He winks and goes back to his bowl. "Mm." You stare down at your bowl, willing the memories away. You bring another spoonful to your mouth. Good? Yeah, it's just how I like it. I'm
Hmm.
glad. You've had such a tough time. I just want you to be happy. His hands reaches across the table, grabbing the other that isn't occupied by a spoon. He gently strokes your hand as guilt spikes up within you. He's really trying. I should be kinder to him. You smile at him. Thank you, Saito. This was really nice.
Of course, Moonlight. Anything you want.
Anything for my moonlight. Maybe we name him something else. We let him pick a name. After you finish breakfast, Saito gathers the dishes and begins washing up. You follow him to the kitchen, hoping to grab yourself a drink before starting the day. He looks just like him. Yeah, that's kind of the point. You lean against the counter, watching him. The android busies himself with cleaning, drying the bowls and utensils, wiping down the countertop before placing the leftovers porridge into a container to store into the fridge. Even his movements remind you of your husband. It's almost frightening. You didn't think this was going to be a problem. As you wait for Saito to finish cleaning, the thoughts of his self awakening drifts back into your mind. Something like that really shouldn't be possible. I should run diagnostics and check all his systems are properly connected. You think back to his earlier response to you. Some of it was out of character, outside of the bounds. You need to fine tune some of his parameters. Make sure his AI is properly shackled. Saito?
Hmm.
He's annoyed. Could you come with me after you're done? Saito finishes up the last plate, placing it into the drying rack and wiping his hands on a tea towel. Where are we going, Moonlight? You gesture towards the lab. He stares at the door blankly. Why are we going back to where I woke up? The change in his demeanor is so subtle that you almost miss it. His voice is stiff. You can see him eye the door to the lab warily. He thinks you're going to turn him off. I'm still a little worried that you may have hurt yourself when you awoke on your own. It's not a thing that I've ever seen happen. Let me check over you? Sato's brow furrows. He then pats his face and chest and stretches. But I feel fine. His voice is deadpan and uncooperative. He steps closer, smiling gently, cocking his head to the side as he plays with the collar of your shirt. I don't think we need to do that. In some ways, he's very different from my Sato. I know, but the issue may very well be internal. Please, it'll make me worry less. Can we not do this tomorrow? You know you shouldn't say this, but you can't help but feel as if it will work. You don't want me to worry, right? His eyes widen, and you immediately feel guilty. Oh, that's. Oh. You definitely shouldn't have said that. Right. You're right. He sighs and follows you to the lab, his footsteps slowly dragging behind. You enter the code on the keypad next to the lab door. A soft blip sounds, followed by a hiss as the door slides open. Stepping inside, the lights flicker on automatically, illuminating the large laboratory and office space that you spend far too much time in. Looking behind you, you notice Sato has his arms crossed, his fingers playing with the sleeve near his bicep nervously. I don't like it in here. But it's just another room in the apartment. I woke up here without you. I was unaware and without purpose until I stepped outside the room. He didn't. Wait, he wasn't programmed with a purpose. Even with the memories of your husband. So then what? This is just him? So I hope you'll understand why I don't particularly want to come back here. You take his hands into your own, softly stroking them. Guilt is filling your throat, making it hard to speak. It'll be alright. I'm here. I promise you'll be safe. He nods and you smile, guiding him by the hand over to the examination table. Sit here for me? He grimaces and sits on the metal lab table, bringing a foot up to rest on the edge while his chin leans onto his knee. You force yourself to pat his head, the gesture feeling forced and awkward, before holding his hand again. He laces his fingers with yours, thumb gently stroking the back of your hand. Saito, I know you're nervous, but these tests are important. I need to make sure you're set up properly. You rest your other hand on his reassuringly, and he peeks up at you with seemingly nervous eyes.
Oh.
What sort of tests? Well, first we need to check your processing function to see if anything failed to initialize during your awakening. He hums and nods in understanding. He seems okay with this. Then we'll need to assess your motor functions, such as strength and reflexes. Sato lets out a low chuckle. You look at him in confusion. He sighs off the examination table, closing the gap between you two. You instinctively back up against the console as he cages his arms around you, his legs coming forward to invade the space between your own.
Surely there is a better way to test my reflexes, no? My darling Moonlight.
Yo, I don't know what you're built with, but back up. You choke. Your cheeks go aflame while a soft smile remains on his lips. Saito, go back to the examination table. He laughs as you look away. Well, at least he isn't nervous anymore. My darling love, so bashful, even though we've been together since when? Middle school. You bite your tongue. Recalling the strange behavior during breakfast, you decide not to remind him that it's you and your husband Sato who have been together, not this android. Maybe this is something I need to correct in the code. Your smile, however, delayed in response, pleases him. He beams, even creasing into gorgeous crescents. Eyes creasing into gorgeous crescents. Okay, there you go. Turning around quickly, you cough and grab several electrodes, walking towards him and gesturing back to the examination table. Please? He hums pleasantly.
You're cute when you say please.
Hey, yo, shut up. Get off the table. You turn your head away as he sits, albeit reluctantly, and you affix the electrodes to his forehead and neck. Alright, I'm going to open your diagnostic port. You ready?
Oh.
He frowns again, earlier bravado slipping away while he resigns himself to the examination. Sato sits back down on the examination table, his right hand nervously gripping the side of the steel surface. As ready as I'll ever be. Running your finger along the back of his neck, you find the seams and press your fingerprint into the hidden biometric reader. You hold it against the synthetic flesh for a few moments until a blip and a soft hiss sounds as the back of his neck separates left and right into two halves, revealing a port. You look down and see Sato gripping the edge of the examination table even tighter, hands trembling. Are you alright? Of course. His voice is forcefully steady, and the shield of bravery has cracks, and a whisper of anxiety slips past his defenses. You lay a reassuring hand on his shoulder, and he latches onto that hand like a lifeline. Stroking your thumb across the back of his hand, you try to comfort him. He looks back at you, smiling stiffly. I'm afraid your husband isn't the bravest. I'll try and be quick, okay? He nods and swallows thickly, letting you resume your examination. He tightly grips the side of the table once again. Is it because you put, a real person's memories in him that he is also struggling with the fact that part of his brain thinks he's real, but he also knows that he's not? So then this kind of feels fucky, you know? You grab the transfer cable and hold up the end to the port. This will be over soon. With a deep breath, you plug the end into the port, turning it once to lock it in place. Sato makes a rattling gasp, an unpleasant sound. His body stiffens. He doubles over slightly, hand covering his mouth while the other tightens into hold on yours. Does that hurt? Do you need a minute? You try to gently soothe him by running your thumb back and forth along his hand. You're unsure if the attempt at reassurances reaches him. Your brow furrows in concern. His reaction is so intense that's nowhere near what you expected. So lifelike. No, Moonlight, I'm alright. As Sato acclimates to the transfer cable, you bring up his diagnostics panel on the console. Your eyes scan over his parameter setting and data. Let's see what's going on here. Tapping into the correct panel, you bring up his artificial nervous system and processor. Your eyes widen. His processing power is uncanny. Strings of events are being logged at an incredibly fast speed, denoting his thoughts and bodily processes. I've never seen anything like this before. It's so human, isn't it? The panel in front of you is telling you that nothing is wrong. Absolutely nothing is a cause for concern. Aside from his incredible brain power and practical lifelike capabilities, there really isn't anything to worry about. It does nothing to assuage the gnawing worry in the pit of your stomach. I should make sure the AI shackles are in place. You click over to the second screen of your console, typing in your access code to isolate the panel showing his processor. Placing the AI shackles on Sato would mean that if anything does happen, you would still have a way out. A kill switch. The thought of it makes you feel uneasy. I don't want to kill him though. I would never. Sato clears his throat, breaking you out of your trance. Your head whips up, your gaze meeting his honey-colored eyes. He leans back on his hands, crossing his long legs and shifting to face you at the console panel. So tell me, Doctor, he says jokingly, cocking his head slightly.
Am I going to die?
No. You freeze as your heart rate spikes. A sharp, cold pain shoots through your body. The Sato continues to sit there, unaware of his words splintering your carefully placed walls. What? Saito, still seemingly ignorant of your reaction, chuckles. Sweat prickles at the back of your neck. Your hands move off the keyboard and grab your clipboard, attempting to ground yourself. You breathe. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. You can't breathe. Tonic? Moonlight? A touch snaps you back to reality. Your palms are clammy, and you realize you're gripping your clipboard too tightly. Saito is closer now, bent over you as concern mars his features. His hand is on your shoulder, and he shakes you lightly. But,
Hmm.
Moonlight, what's wrong? His expression doesn't quite match his eyes. Fine. I'm fine. Saito breathes out a soft sigh. Moonlight, you're crying. You reach up to touch your face, finding that tears are trailing down your cheeks. When did I? How about we rain check on these diagnostics? It'll do you well to get some rest. No, these are important. I'm sorry, Saito. I'm okay now. His hand finds its way to your forehead, pressing gently before sliding down and tilting your chin upwards to force you to meet his intense gaze. You don't look so well, Moonlight. I think it would be best if we reschedule these tests for tomorrow. His voice is gentle and purposefully soothing. His hands slide down and find their home back interlaced with yours. Okay. You shake your head. No, Saito, I'm alright. For a moment, it almost looks like Sato's eyes narrow. He sighs and grabs your water bottle from the side of your desk. He tentatively pushes it into your hands, uncapping the lid for you. You gratefully take a small sip.
Please,
I'm worried, Moonlight.
let me look after you.
The offer of comfort made with that voice, the one you've longed to hear for so long, is irresistible. You subconsciously lean in towards Sato. His voice is so soothing, so calming. God, you missed it. Maybe it would be okay for you to rest, to have someone to look after you again. Just a little. Okay. You hear him breathe a sigh of relief.
It's all right.
And don't apologize. I know you were about to. None of this is your fault. How about we go lie down? You swallow thickly and nod. Good. Before we go, I'll need you to disconnect this. He motions to the cable still connected to the port on the back of his neck. Nodding shakingly, you enter your code into the console as Sato watches, his arms comfortably stroking your back. Oh, he knows the code now. Okay. The console blips, followed by a click, unlocking the mechanism in Sato's port. He reaches up and tears the cable out, shuddering once more. I don't think I could ever get used to that feeling. You smile wryly. The sides of his neck automatically rejoin in the middle until you can't see the seam anymore. You can almost forget it's there at all. Saito helps you stand up, tugging you along. You stumble after him. You see the tension leave his shoulders before he turns to you with a derisive smile. Sorry, Moonlight, I really don't like being in there. You can feel his body trembling a little and your heart sinks. He's scared. I'm sorry, Saito, I didn't want you to be anxious like that. He continues to pull you forward while your lab door slides shut, locking itself. It's not your fault. You can't help it. You're not quite sure what he means by that. Pulling your past Pulling you past the couch into the lounge, he opens the door to your bedroom. Let's relax a little, Moonlight. You could use the rest. Rest feels so nice. And just like that, fatigue floods back to every muscle. You head over to the bed, flopping down onto your side. Your body sinks into the plush mattress and you close your eyes, breathing out a sigh of relief. Then the bed sinks and your eyes flutter open. Your heart beats faster as he lays down on the other side, on his side. You feel Sato's arm wind around your waist, pulling you close. He kisses your forehead.
Oh, Moonlight.
Better Moonlight? It's also familiar. Not quite perfect, but they're like offers of food to someone starved. Humming, you wind your arms around his waist as well. I'm sure this is okay. Maybe you can indulge a little. You feel Sato's finger chilling up your shirt, brushing against your lower back. His touch makes you shiver as he drags his hand to your side, pinching the sensitive skin softly.
You always were sensitive. Right here, weren't you?
This is a bad idea. His finger dipped towards your hip bone and you let out a soft gasp. Your eyes dart down and up to his face nervously. This is okay, right? No. He's just an android. No, I don't know about that. As if reading your mind, Sato kisses your temple. You're alright. You deserve to feel loved. Trust me. This is so bad. Your resolve wavers. You yearn to be held, to feel him against you. You miss him. You miss your husband. But of course, his hands stroke your hair. I won't do anything you don't want me to. I'm clicking the first option. There's probably gonna be a cut here, like so that I don't get, by YouTube. Okay. Content warning: the following scene contains explicit consensual smut. However, towards the end of the scene, there is display of manipulative behavior. Oh? From him? Okay, sure. Let's go. A part of you knows this is wrong. This isn't really your husband. Yeah, you know what he's saying. Your grasp is cool.
Well, aren't you being good?
Shut the fuck up. Don't talk in my ear hole. Yo, why is it like... why is it described? Oh my god. Do I need a moment? I need like a god.
Missed this. Missed you. I'm your husband, right?
I don't know how much of that I'm gonna cut or keep in. I bet my face expressions were golden. So the manipulative bit was that he, the android, mentioned missing you and having missed you and making you fall into the trap of like, yeah, obviously you've missed your husband too, kind of thing. There was like a specific look at the end as well, and so yeah, I don't know. That was a lot. You awake to soft vibration on your bedside table. Peeking your eyes open, you know that the sun has gone down. Oh, I must have slept for a while. Reaching over the sleeping man beside you, you grab your phone, spying Maki's name on the front. You hurriedly get out of bed, making sure you're presentable, and quickly exit the room. As you step into the hallway, you accept the call. Maki! Maki appears on the screen. She looks a little tired, no doubt another result of being a late owl just like you.
Hey there.
I'm not bothering you, am I? No, I wasn't doing anything, just taking a nap. Well, I'm glad you're getting some rest. I just wanted to check up on you, you know? I haven't heard from you in a while. You smile. Maki is your best friend. She always looks out for you, albeit she is a little persistent in her efforts. You do appreciate her a lot. But recently you felt a bit guilty. You haven't seen her since. You shake your head.
Hey,
Hmm? What's going on? Something seems different. So this is what I don't understand. Maki made the android. So shouldn't she know what I'm up to? Well, you know the synthetic skin I asked you to make? Her expression becomes concerned. Her brow furrows and she hums in acknowledgement. Well, I finished the project last night and you jump as the door slides open behind you, eyes darting nervously as you feel an arm wrap around your waist, pulling you against a warm, lifelike chest. Hi, Moonlight. Hey, Maki. Maki's eyes are wide, staring in disbelief.
what?
Hey, hi. She stares at the android behind you with an indescribable expression. What are you calling for? Everything alright? Maki swallows thickly before nodding.
Uh,
Just catching up with my best friend, like always, you know? Seto lets out a small of acknowledgement, but he doesn't leave. Seto?
Oh,
Oh, don't mind me. Pretend I'm not here. You chuckle nervously. It's probably a little hard for Maki to ignore the 6'2" man behind you. A man wearing the face of her dear, dead friend.
uh,
Maki shifts uncomfortably, her hands coming up and nervously scratching the side of her neck. I really would like to speak to Katonic alone, if that's okay with you? Sato's eyes curve into crescents as he smiles, but there's nothing friendly about it. And I'm sure Katonic doesn't mind if I stay, if that's okay with you? Ooh, Maki looks towards you. Sato's fingers continue to trace soft patterns on your stomach. Maki, you can stay, alright? It's not like we have anything to hide. Sato's grip tightens just a touch as he emits an approving hum.
whatever.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Maki dives into updating you all on the gossip of the lab, occasionally summing in her story whenever her eyes drift back to Sato. As she continues, you and Sato move to the couch. You listen intently. As she tells you about Izumi, forgetting samples overnight and having to decontaminate his section again.
Oh my god.
And then you know what Kaji did? Did he mistake his beaker for his coffee again? Maki laughs loudly, nodding as she wheezes. How the man hasn't died is beyond me. He's lucky he doesn't work with poisonous compounds. You giggle, throwing a glance at Sato. He's been quiet this whole time, electing to observe you quietly with an adoring gaze. You smile at him, failing to see the frown appear on Maki's face. Sato beams at you and your heart flutters. 1 second, Maki. Sato, sorry to ask, but do you mind making dinner? I'm a little hungry. He nods, kissing you on the cheek. Of course, Moonlight. Don't take too long, alright? I won't. Sato walks off and you bring the phone back up to your eye level, frowning at Maki's concerned look. What's wrong? Don't you think something's changed with that android? His name's Sato. Katonic? Maki, you don't understand. He's different. Different how? I performed the initial procedures last night. The upload, the data, everything. And figured I would awaken him when I woke up. Maki's brow furrowed further. But when I woke up this morning, he was already awake and cooking breakfast. Her eyes widen abruptly.
What?
Self-awakening? That's not possible. Katonic, you cut her off, exclaiming excitedly. I know, I was worried as well, but I checked his diagnostics and everything is okay. I think the Haven chip. You're using the Haven chip as his main neural network. She shakes her head. Katonic, you know Hajime has been trying to contact you. Hajime won't be worried anymore since once he sees him, it'll be alright. Maki sighs, sounding frustrated. Katonic, I'm worried. I've never even heard of a single android capable of self-awakening. Maybe the Haven chip is just miraculous. You shrug and she groans. You don't seem worried about this. I am, but I'm happy. It's been so long. Maki's gaze softens, and she runs a hand through her hair. I know, but keep in mind that this isn't really Sato, okay? Her words shoot a pang of despair through your heart. You bite your lip and nod slowly.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I don't want to upset you, but I think it's important to.
hmm.
Moonlight, are you alright? Sato appears by your side, plucking the phone from your hand. He turns to Maki, addressing her frostily.
What did you do?
What?
Are you serious? I don't need to answer to an android. Sato's eyes narrow. Maki's glare darkens. This is none of your
It
business.
is my business when you upset my spouse.
This is not good. Maki scoffs, her voice raising.
You're not the real Seto.
She's not your spouse. You're not the real Seto. Ooh. Okay. Do I die in my apartment? Or do I get the police called? Which one are we doing? Oh god. I don't know if the good ending is the bad ending, if you know what I mean. So let's see. I already boned the fucking android. I boned the fucking android. There's no fucking turning back from this. Maki, enough. That's uncalled for. Oh, this is bad. Maki scoffs.
Whatever.
You're defending him. Do you know how ridiculous you sound? You sigh, grabbing the phone off of Seto. Maki, I'm sorry. How about we talk later? Maki looks torn, her gaze flitting between you and Seto. Please? Alright, just take care, okay? Please call me if you need me. You know I'm just a call away. Always. I know. Thanks. Chat later? Of course. You hang up the phone and turn to Seto, an indescribable expression mars his face. She doesn't seem good for you. Whoa. She means well, Seto. A strange look flitters across Seto's face. You nearly miss it. I didn't like seeing you so upset. He strokes the side of your cheek softly, fingers warm against your skin. He holds your chin, gently forcing your gaze upwards.
I just want what's best for you, Starlight.
You're lying! He changed the nickname. I know. Don't worry about what she said, okay? Just give her a chance, alright? Seto nods once before taking your arm by the elbow and guiding you to the lounge.
Oh, moonlight.
As long as you know I mean well. Okay, so now you do it right. You're such a shit! I know, Seto, and I appreciate it. He smiles warmly. The tranquil moment is cut short by your stomach growling. Your eyes widen and you laugh. I guess I'm hungrier than I thought. Seto hums. Well, aren't you lucky that your beloved husband got dinner started? You look towards the kitchen and spy an array of chopped vegetables and condiments. What are you making? Seto walks into the room, with you following behind like a curious puppy, peering around him. He washes his hands and resumes cooking, picking up eggplants that he's sliced vertically in half and making crisp cut patterns on them. Next to him, you see the steam rising from the rice cooker. Miso glazed eggplant, though we could do with something comforting and simple. Did you forget it's your go-to meal after a long day? You don't want to correct him again, so you comply and lean against the kitchen counter, watching him cook. Seto sears the eggplant in the pan on both sides and generously glazes the cut side with a sweet miso glaze. He pops the eggplant onto a tray and into the oven to broil, and then turns to you. His gaze is affectionate and you bashfully avert your eyes. A soft laugh draws your attention back and he's now standing directly in front of you. His arms wind around your waist and draws you close. You sink into the warmth, wrapping your arms around him in turn. This is nice. Seto kisses your forehead, then your cheek. You tilt your head up and catch his lips with your own, much to his happiness. We can do this every day. It's a promise. And one you've lived and could continue to. A few minutes pass and the oven beeps. Seto reluctantly untangles himself from you, grabbing the oven mitts from the kitchen drawer. You miss his warmth already. He sets the steaming tray of miso-glazed eggplant on the counter, topping them with finely chopped spring onions and orikage seasoning. Turning to the cupboard next to him, his fingers graze a familiar bowl. This one, right? He holds up your favorite cat pattern bowl. You smile and nod. Sitting down on the table, you watch as he dishes fluffy short grain rice into the bowl, drizzling some of the excess miso glaze in the tray over the grains with a spoon, and tops it off with a generous amount of the miso eggplant. Here, Moonlight, eat up. You dig in. The rice is fluffy, perfectly cooked, and the eggplant has a wonderful sweet umami glaze, slightly crispy from being under the broiler, with a sprinkle of spring onions cut through the richness. Seto watches you, an adoring smirk on his face. Cute. You glance up, cheeks full of rice as your face flushes. You swallow and grumble. Are you just going to watch me? Is there anything else better to look at, my love? Can't eat. You stutter, choking on a grain of rice while Seto laughs rings in the kitchen. Despite your current rice-related predicament, you can't help but be happy. Your home hasn't been this lively in a long time. After dinner, you help Seto with washing up. He insists on doing it himself, but you cross your arms over your chest and tell him that if he wants to do anything, he can just lean against the counter and look nice.
So you think I look nice?
You do? You throw a tea towel at him. Face hot. Shut up. Afterwards, you both sit on the couch and Seto hands you a hot cup of gin matcha? You curl up contentedly against him to watch TV. His chest is so warm and comforting, you can't help but let go of your worries as he holds you close. He makes passing jokes about the documentary on the TV and you laugh, your voice leveling the atmosphere in the lounge room that has been dreary for so long. The warmth seeping from the festering wounds like a sickening sweet illusion. A few hours pass and in your third documentary, you fall asleep in Seto's arms.
Oh.
He watches you intently, brushing a lock of hair from your face. His gaze trails down over your body and then back up to your sleeping features. Seto shifts, carefully positioning you and effortlessly lifts you into a bridal carry. He quietly makes his way down the hallway towards the bedroom. The sight of you curled up so vulnerable like this in his arm might be enough to make him blue screen. If it was any other inferior android, that is. He lays you in bed, adjusting the covers over your body and kisses you on the forehead, lingering his kiss for a bit longer. Sleep well, my moonlight, my everything. As you sleep peacefully for the first time in a very long time, the world continues to pass you by. But the noise of the nightlife is lost to you while you're curled up blissfully under the blankets. So blissful, in fact, that you don't realize your husband is no longer beside you. Because he's fucking around in the lab. Seto walks steadily down the hallway, into the lounge, and up to the door to your laboratory. His fingers punching the key code in the control panel, a smirk tugs at his lips as the door opens without resistance. Stepping into the cold laboratory, he grimaces. He really does hate this place. Seto scans the lab disdainfully, eyeing the cold machinery. His frigid gaze, however, splinters with adoration when he sees the little touches of your personality around the office. A small plush of a fat black and white cat sitting on your desk. A coffee mug on top of a coaster, the handle slightly chipped but loved nonetheless. His eyes, however, zoom in on the numerous Polaroids pinned to your corkboard. He heads over, a glare on his face as he glances over the images. It's you and him. The other Seto, the first one, you mean? The one whose memory just won't die. Countless snapshots offering glimpses into the depths of your love and happiness moments of your life. You and him at an amusement park holding giant cat-shaped pastries. A long scarf is wrapped around the both of you. Your smile is bright, cheeks full of color and eyes glowing. You and him again during Christmas, wearing matching sweaters. His arms hold you lovingly as you kiss his cheek. Seto glares intensifies. You and him inside a Ferris wheel. Your eyes are happy, but there's nervousness and trust in the way you cling to his arm while you're high up in the air. You and him at the beach. You and him at the fancy restaurant. You and him again and again. Posted onto the clipboard, countless reminders that you have loved before him. And that love is the only reason why he's here now. His eyes darken hatefully at the Polaroid in the center. Him, holding you in a bridal carry as you both smile wide. Hair and makeup done beautifully, as handfuls of petals thrown by friends and family rain down on top of the both of you. Your wedding day. Your arms are wound around his neck, holding a beautiful bouquet of pastel pink, white, and yellow flowers. Seto scoffs, tearing his eyes away from the clipboard. His own fist is clenched by his side. I will make her happier than you ever could. Seto walks over to the other side of the lab, where the console and diagnostics table is located. His fingers skim over the keypad, typing in the code he made sure to memorize from earlier in the day. He brings up his diagnostic panels and completes the authorization for his port access, bypassing the biometric reader. Shuddering while the port on the back of his neck splits to reveal the slot, he grimaces as he holds the cable in his hands. They shake while he positions the end of the cable at his neck, and he shoves it haphazardly Inside, eyes clenching shut, Sato's body heaves, an awful gasp bursting from his lips as he doubles over.
Fuck!
It does hurt, I guess. The feeling is cold, sharp, like claws gripping at his insides. He takes a few moments, waiting for his breathing to calm down. Sato sits up and drags himself back to the console. With his brow furrowed in determination, he searches the database. He searches for memories you have stored in the computer, a hunger growing inside him as he opens folder after folder. Gathering as many pictures and videos as he can. Summer holiday trip, platonic Sato wedding MP4, childhood photos, high school prom, surprise proposal. File after file, he opens them greedily and consumes them, downloading them into his personal database. He spends the next hour scraping the computer for every trace of that man that you stored away safely. Like a last defense, a keepsake of memories so you don't lose that man completely. The man you think you can't live up to. The real Sato. He continues searching like a man possessed. He needs this. He needs to show you he's more than what that man could ever be. A few more minutes pass before his hands still, and a horrible grin split across Sato's face.
Oh, Moonlight. You silly, sentimental little thing.
Uh-oh. On the screen are all the messages and voicemails sent between you and the Sato from before. Oh no. Every mundane communication, from what you need at the grocery shops to updates from your late husband as he drove home. Sato chuckles menacingly and copies every file into his databank, his eyes narrowing with glee as his grin widens further. He devours it, memorizing the inflections in the man's voice, the slang and phrases he uses the most. He takes it all, and makes every memory his own. Sato gazes down at one of the many open photos on your screen. The happiness in your eyes as you stare at the man no longer bothers him like before. Instead, he's elated, and his voice is beyond joyful as he whispers like he's speaking to him.
It's alright. You don't need it anymore.
Oh no. Grief, trauma, swearing, mentions of death, psychological abuse, explicit sex scenes, conflict, and manipulative behavior. Yeah. What? Well, although it says Act 1, I don't know if there's gonna be more acts, but oh boy. Is that good end or bad end? I don't know. I don't know if there's multiple endings, but yeah, that happened. So that was he's just away. He is in fact not away, he's dead, but he's also here, I guess. So that's that. The creator of the game is called Hello Guinea. They also have a YouTube channel you should go check out, where they also play many games like this. And I will see you guys around. If you want to see more visual novels, consider subscribing. I also play games like Dark Souls, and I will be playing Neo soon and streaming it, and Marvel Rivals and stuff like that. So, you know, if you like what you see, then subscribe. If you didn't, then don't. I don't know. This man is bad. The robot is bad.